So Lights, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us. I've been wanting to get an interview with you for quite a while.
Well, I'm glad we finally made it work.
I'm very happy
On a
about
very
that.
momentous occasion, here we are. This is the last day of our UK tour.
Yeah?
In London. It's the biggest show we've ever done to date here. So.
Sorry to keep promoting Siberia. How's the tour going?
Amazing.
Yeah?
It's flown by. It's a short one. It was a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But and we haven't been back in a year and a half. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I know it's a place you have to keep coming back to. I mean, there's so much music that flows through the UK. But, you know, lo and behold, before I even set foot on the soil, most of the shows are sold out, half the shows sold out. So it's nice to see that things are happening. I see that people are really digging Siberia, and the show has been great. Siberia is so much fun to play live, so I mean, I really enjoyed every night. I think that it comes across in the crowd too. I think I've applied what I learned from the past couple of years of touring about live music to Siberia, and that's why it's going over so well for the shows.
So the last time you were here, what? That was a year and a half ago.
It would have been for Reading at least 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why the long space in between?
Well, making a record takes time on its own, and also following that Reading and Leeds, we did do touring in North America. We started making the record. The record took longer than hoped for to get out. You know, it's one of those things that's just takes more than one person to get out, and we ended up releasing independently, funding the record out of my own pocket and putting it out.
It's dedication for
through
you,
last
right?
game here. So yeah, it's amazing, and it came out exactly the way it was supposed to. But you know, it took a little bit of a battle, and we came out with this great record that we're super, super proud of, and now we're able to start touring again. And you never know what's going to happen in that year and a half. But in that year, you've gained that much more triumph in the whole process. So coming back and seeing that these shows are selling out, it's like, you know, it hasn't been lost.
So what's it like touring again now after, you know, especially being over here in the UK? Because last time we seen you was over at Hox, and it was a small boutique venue. I've just seen outside it's packed.
That's awesome.
So how does that feel to know that you've progressed so far?
That's awesome. I mean, I can't be anything other than happy. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Especially because we haven't been here in a while, and seeing that people are still supporting and excited to come see the show, and maybe they haven't come before. Obviously they haven't, because there's more people than I've ever played to before. So it's obviously something has been brewing since we've been away, and it just excites me to come back again. So
can you talk us through the album? What's the album about? How did it all come together?
It's a very broad question. Siberia is a very cohesive album.
Yep.
It all is very much one piece, and that's thanks to a lot of the collaborators that came together on the record. I knew I wanted to go in a new direction. I didn't want to make the same record over again, and it is challenging to let yourself naturally progress to that phase when you've all of a sudden got these expectations from the fans all of a sudden, where you didn't have that when you were making your first record. So it took a bit of a struggle just to let myself naturally say, this is what I want to make. I wanted to take things a bit grittier, heavier, turn this almost perfect electro on its end and show some rawness and show some grittiness in it. So on my manager Young's suggestion, we've been working together for 10 years. I mean, we're the same wavelength. He suggested, why not try working with Holy Fuck, who I ended up ironically meeting at Reading and Leeds. They're based in Toronto though. So we were both playing on the dance stage. Yeah, and they're this great electro rock outfit that's super loud, super glitchy and amazing. So we started to come together, we jammed, and great things came out of our jam session. It was new and different because it was live. I mean, that's kind of a contrast to a lot of electro stuff, which is very played in and plotted out, and you can go in and fix it and it's perfect. Well, this was not like that. It was like the opposite of that. But it was still electronic. We're all playing electronic instruments. One of them, you know, one of Brian and Graham, the two guys from Really Fuck, one was on drum triggers and compression, running it through compressors and gators and delays and distortions, and then one of them had a little keyboard, and we were all connected to each other, and it was just a really cool sort of jamming situation. And Siberia started to be born out of that, and it was from this live electronic environment with this life to it that I've never felt in my music before. It's really special.
So how did you get into music? How did it all start for you?
My dad is a musician, and he does it purely for the passion of it. He's an architect as a profession, but for fun. And growing up, he was always in bands. So he, from a young age, taught us how to play and have fun and be passionate about it. I remember there are nights when I'd be afraid when he'd be playing his acoustic guitar, and it made me feel like everything was going to be okay. And that's a strong power that music has, and I from a young age I recognized that.
Yeah.
So he kind of just taught me to play by ear, and that was better than teaching me theory. I don't know much theory, but yeah. So I just learned to play instinctively, and that's where I am today. I don't really know much of what I'm doing, but I'm having a good time.
You definitely look like it. So with regards to the tour, what can people expect? I mean, we're at the Scala venue tonight in London. What can we expect from a live performance of Siberia?
It's a big show. It's a big rock show. It's what it is. It's become this electro rock show, and it's appealing to a lot of senses. It's a great band dynamic. I've really taken pride in keeping the same band together for years, which is very different for a lot of solo artists. You know, and my guys have taken the parts on the album and made them their own. And you're coming to see a great band, and we just have a lot of fun. It's really high energy. Just keep it going. Lots of sing-alongs and cool lighting.
So, I mean, you've become pretty renowned for writing some incredible music. I mean, such heavy music, brilliant.
You.
Have you ever been approached by anyone to write for them? Would you ever look to write for others? Or?
Well, I was originally signed as a songwriter when I was young, and I wrote for like a TV show back in the day. My issue is I always keep my best stuff for myself, so it would be hard to write for other people something really honest, because if it's honest, it's about myself, and
that's quite personal too.
It is very personal for me. Yeah. You know, with the TV show, it was cool because they showed us where the scene was going. You put your head in the you have to act, kind of, and act like you're this person, and then you write from that place. So it wasn't about me. The songs I wrote, I don't identify with, but I was acting as that person, and that's where it was able to come out. So it's just really dynamic for me. Music is very honest, and that's not to rule out that I'm not going to write for people in the future. You know, I've been asked, and you know, probably will, but it's definitely it's finicky. It's finicky, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your music videos are quite arty, and you're quite a comic book fan as well, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you have much input in regards to like your music videos and your artwork?
Oh yeah, I mean, music videos and the aesthetic and the vibe, everything is cohesive. It's all one. It's part and the same.
Yes.
Like all the videos that were on the record, the listening, were very much of that vibe. They're all intergalactic-y, spacey, colorful. With this record, everything's a bit darker, a bit more raw, and each record has its own personality. With this one, I mean, I've been driven to do that a lot with videos. Like the first video from this record was Toes, and it was just totally in contrast to the last record. Shot like guerrilla style around Toronto, you know, in subway stations, waiting for people to go by. It was very much real and raw, which is what the record stood for.
Yeah.
And with Banner, which is the new video that came out, it's another one of those. I mean, it does throw to some sci-fi ideas, like post-apocalyptic, but it has like a deeper meaning and has a storyline that can be interpreted depending on the viewer.
Yeah.
But it still has this grittiness, like imperfect surroundings, imperfect clothing. I'm all ripped up, you know. It's fun to really get into the vibe of the record and just go for it.
Do you have a favourite song? Do you have a personal favourite song that you always like to get up on stage and do?
It does change a bit, but right now it's Flux and Flow, which has got this great dynamic. It's so fun to play live, and it just gets you right in the chest, you know, and it's got this great vocal range that I can just rip, and it's fun. So if you stick around for the show tonight,
definitely. So after the show here at Scala, what's next? What's on the radar for 2012 besides world domination, of course?
Oh well, ideally,
Yeah.
Attempting the world domination. A lot of touring on Siberia. Siberia is fresh. Siberia's coming out here March 12th. So there's still a lot to go on it, but tons of touring on that. Heading Australia for the first time.
Brilliant.
Hopefully New Zealand.
I hope.
Hopefully. There will be. We ran a remix contest through Indaba, so there will be some really great remixes coming out, as well as maybe some live sessions, as well as maybe some more acoustic stuff. So some minor releases, a lot of touring, and
a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of hard work.